We bring in John Jastremski and Chris Lopresti now. So twice it looked like the Mets were cooked on Sunday, and twice Mark Canha comes through with monster hits. Chris, how special is it to see not only Canha's performance, but also the ability of just different guys to step up when needed?
Yeah, that's been the calling card of this team for most of the season. Of course, they have some big dogs at the top, both pitching-wise and position player-wise. But, Canha's the perfect example. Sometimes you think guy comes in as a free agent. He was one of the more notable acquisitions they made in the offseason. He's not necessarily an everyday guy that you just show up to the park and you know his name's going to be in the lineup. But I like a guy that can go in and out and still be prepared and ready to step up in those big spots. Sometimes the guys that don't get the regular playing time, they go through the peaks and valleys of the season, and it's hard for them to stay locked in. But in this particular case, in a game that the Mets very easily, Buck alluded to it, they could have punted that no problem. With the pitchers that they threw out there, length of game, rain delay, they've already taken 2 in the series. And for him to not only hit the 2 homers, but the second one after they had, fallen behind off of David Robertson, who maybe could have or should have been a Met at the trade deadline. It was all come full circle and just a massive, massive win for the Mets.
Well, think about this with Mark Canha. He was playing every day for this team. They go and make all the moves at the trade deadline. Vogel back. They bring in Tyler Naquin. He's not playing as much, and he's made the most of those opportunities. He mentioned the idea that this is the first real moment he feels like he's had as a New York Met, and it's been a season of different guys stepping up at so many different times, and you hit on it and Buck hit on it. The Mets in this game could have said, you know what, it's not for us today. We're down 3 runs. It's raining. We got to split. It is what it is. They come out after the rain delay, keep fighting. They fight back after the Segura home run. And Mark Canha, the hero of the day, that kind of year for the Mets.
Sign of a good team, finding ways to win. Meanwhile, amazing story out of this game was Nate Fisher. Just over a year ago, he was working at a bank. Then he gets called up to the Mets, and JJ, that alone was cool, but then he went and pitched 3 innings of 1-hit ball.
Not too shabby. Reminds me of The Rookie. Remember that movie with Dennis Quaid and Jimmy Morris that came out a couple of years ago? Hey, you love stories like that, and the Mets needed some arms to step up today because they don't have Taijuan Walker in this series. They don't have Carlos Carrasco in this series. They're compromised because they're forced to play a doubleheader on Saturday. So to get this feel-good story, the guy is in finance, he's working in Omaha, and boom, comes up to the major leagues. 3 scoreless innings, super cool.
I feel like I needed an NBA just to follow along with all the roster moves the Mets had to make between Saturday's doubleheader and Sunday's finale, and he was part of it. I mean, and look, he poked fun about it after the game. Hey, my old boss texted me, congratulations, and they were asking him about, hey, was this really true? Yeah, he goes, I was assessing bank loans about a year ago before I got a chance to get back into minor league ball. I think it was with the Mariners. So, look, who knows where it goes from here. But like JJ said, they needed somebody to step up, even if it didn't work out in a win, just to give them some innings. And the same for Budo at the start. And I know his line didn't look as good. But for them to at least be lined up going into this series with the Yankees now, where they've got some available arms from guys that'll be rested, is definitely beneficial.
The fact that it worked out made it even sweeter.